Hello everyone. Welcome back to Anmoll Astrology channel. This video is about Mercury transiting in the sign of Scorpio. So Mercury is going to transit in the sign of Scorpio on 29th of October 2024, and it is going to stay there till 4th of January 2025, right? And in between it will go retrograde as well. So before diving into what this transit is going to do for each and every ascendant or zodiac sign, we need to know what does Mercury in the sign of Scorpio means. First of all, Mercury is a planet of intellect, intelligence, observance, attractiveness, infatuation. Mercury is your thinking process, your ability to understand, adapt, and it is also associated with jealousy. This is the planet which actually makes you a chameleon-like person. The more good your Mercury is, the more intelligent you are. And I have also seen that Mercury does really well by balancing one's intuition and one's intelligence. So, a person with strong Mercury is the one who would even understand or evaluate the results of a situation way before the situation actually happens. They have such strong understanding and intelligence. Mercury is a planet that rules the third and the sixth house naturally, the sign of Gemini and the sign of Virgo. Mercury is also about being at service. Mercury is contractual relationships. So, whenever Mercury is being connected with the first or the seventh house, you would see that every relationship in your life is more of a contract. There has to be the involvement of money with Mercury. Actually, I have seen it every time. Whenever Mercury gets involved in the first, seventh, or in the first and seventh of Navamsha, or with the seventh lord, with Venus, there is always some exchange of money, or there is always the equal contribution into the marriage from both the sides. Why? Because it gives you that calculativeness. Right now, the third house is about communication. So, Mercury also represents your communication, your skills, your relationship with your neighbors, how you communicate. Not your speech, but your way of communication, your topics of communication, how you are going to communicate something. Then, since it is sixth house, Mercury is also the planet who is a young prince. It's a promiscuous, flirtatious planet. That's why it is associated with one's attraction. You know, people with prominent Mercury would never want them to look old. And a strong influence of Mercury means that a person would look younger than their age. They are very conscious of their looks. They are very organized. Mercurian people. So now we are putting this Mercury. You know, Mercury is also about conflict. Since it naturally rules the sign of Virgo. So it is about conflicts. It is about your speech, as in that your debating skills, that's very much dependent on this. Your legal activities are dependent on Mercury. Business is dependent on Mercury. Now, you put this Mercury in the sign of Scorpio, the karmic sign, the eighth house, major transformation, ups and downs. Eighth house is about occult, secrets, technicalities, in-laws, sudden events, your spouse's income, your spouse's wealth, your spouse's speech as well. right? So when you put Mercury in the sign of Scorpio, what happens is, first of all, these people are excellent market persons. And you would see these people always have secretive communications. And they actually love to take, I have seen this, they love to take favors. You see that what do we call it, the jugadu log, right? The people who know multiple individuals, and whenever you tell them, or like I'm about to get this thing done, or I'm about to buy a product, these people will be one, oh, you tell me, I'll get it arranged at a lower cost. So that kind of jugadu people these people are excellent salespersons, and excellent with communicating in that way, excellent negotiating skills. Their communication goes that way that they just understand. See, this is a water sign, and this is ruled by Mars. These people's intellect and thinking is way, way deep than we can expect. That's why these people can analyze the other person way before they actually say something. That's why they know what to say so as to bargain the best. So very good bargain these people do. Now this is a very intense sign. So since Mercury represents one's intellect and one's thinking, these people are extremely overthinkers. And at some point you would see that these people also are prone to either anxiety or depression, because these people think too much. There's no end to their thinking. And since Mercury is also one's communication, that's why these people love to communicate in a secretive manner, and they love to communicate secrets. you know Having Mercury in the sign of Scorpio does not mean that these people are extremely secretive. They would actually show you that they have secrets. But these are the people that one way or the other, they will get things out because of the emotional element of the sign of Scorpio. Now, these people have some karma associated with younger generation or sisters, especially. Your sister can be deceptive towards you. Another thing, whenever they talk, they have a very indirect way of communication, and a very commanding one. Why? Because you have put this Mercury, the planet of communication, into the sign of Mars. And you would see they have a habit of taunting. That's why there's an indirect communication. And these people are very boastful, extremely boastful. And these people are very much interested into occult. You will see Mercurian individuals to be interested. They like researching things and getting it out. They like getting piece of information out to present, to give information. See, since it is Mercury, Mercury always extracts information and gives that to everyone. That is why Mercury is also the karka for gossips. That's why in the sign of Scorpio, these people can actually be the ones who might gossip, or who might, tell the secret of others to someone they are close to. Like, that there's something that, a person tells the other person that, don't tell this, don't tell it to everyone, but this person did this and I know about it. So these are that kind of individuals. But these people are very, very intelligent with speculation, investments. They can actually make a very refined decision of investment. And they always have a habit of gaining money somehow through investments. Either it's their investment or it's investment of someone else. They have a very calculative relationship with their in-laws. This also means that these people's, their spouse's income is always disbalanced. Their spouse finds it difficult or is unstable within their income. So, and also this means that there is going to be a major transformation within the finances of their spouse. And also these people transform big time in their life at certain ages whenever this Mercury gets activated. They experience major transformation. Most of all, it is in this 32nd year. It can even be beyond that based on your Vimshottari Dasha and also other aspects, other transits as well. But more so, 32nd year is very transformative for these individuals. Now, this person, since Mercury is one's attraction, these people are the ones who will get attracted towards the other person very quickly and very intensely. These are the individuals, if they get that attraction with someone else of the another, opposite sex, they are actually going to be intensely involved and they are going to be experimentative about, with their relationship with other people. That's why with people, natives with Mercury in the sign of Scorpio, they can have multiple relationships or multiple casual relationships which are sexual in nature as well. Of course, the moon placement, Venus placement matters a lot too, but still, these people can have a very intense curiosity, right? And it's that since the emotions get involved because of the sign of Scorpio, they are very sensitive with their communication. They're very sensitive about their communication. They're sensitive about their physique, how they look, how they appear. These are those people on the social media with just zero posts, and so many followings, but very less followers. Don't want much of the people to know what is happening within their life. These people can ghost big time. These people have a habit of ghosting. But this ghosting happens because they actually do not have that courage. Since third house is also of one's courage, they don't have that courage to confront someone. That's why they choose the easiest way out. Now, third house is also about one's skills. So these people have technical skills. You would always see a person with Mercury in the sign of Scorpio. This person is definitely involved in some technical subject. Even if they are an insurance agent, they are going to handle some technical stuff within the firm. They are excellent communicators, definitely. But sometimes these people lack their focus of communication. They're not direct communicators. They are the ones who are going to build up personal relations with you by talking to you, as a client. If you are their client, they are going to talk to you, they are going to build a relationship, and then they are going to take that forward for a longer time, because when they would require a favor, are going to ask you. So they are not like the people like Mercury in the sign of Virgo. You need to understand that's an earth sign, this is a water sign. They roam around the bush. They would give you the intensity of their communication and make you interested within the communication with them, right? So that's what Mercury does in the sign of Scorpio. So now let's understand how does the transit of Mercury in the sign of Scorpio would work. So first of all, we are going to share the Muhurata chart. So with the Muhurta chart, actually what it tells is it sets up a theme for a particular transit. So this is the Muhurta chart for Mercury. So Mercury is going to get conjunct with Venus in the fifth house, because the rising sign is Cancer for the Muhurata chart. These are going to be the predictions for the theme of this transit, and it is going to be the predictions for the sign of Cancer. Now we also have debilitated Mars. Now we know the dispositor of Mercury is actually debilitated at the time Mercury entered the sign of Scorpio. So that's why we know that there is going to be a lot of emotional decisions. There are going to be a lot of decisions based on not on one's logical intellect, but rather emotional intellect. There is going to be a lot of lessons that a person is going to learn because of their intense nature, their intensity. Everything in your life is going to feel intense, and you would somehow lack the energy to take action towards it. So this chart basically shows me that this is the time to go within. This Mercury is about researching. This Mercury is about going deep into realizations. And this is not the time to act. We also have Moon and Ketu conjunct together in the third house. So that means that this time is actually about you to realize things of your life, events of your life, about analyzing calculatively, deeply, observantly. You have to analyze the situations of your life. Action is not something that has to be there, because Mars is debilitated. But it's like that you are actually forming the energy slowly and steadily to reach that action. Once Mars will enter into the sign of Leo, then the action will come into play. Then the action will come into initiation because of a fire sign. But right now, it's the time to stop, evaluate calculatively about the past, and then move forward. It is about understanding the intensity of events. And since Mercury is conjunct Venus, and then we have in opposition Jupiter, which is retrograde at that time, this means that there are intense lessons related to love, relationships, and how you feel about love, relationships. There are going to be lessons related to creation, finances, investments, sudden events related to investments and assets. So even in this time, there can be a lot of fluctuations within shares. Share market can actually experience lots of fluctuations. So this is a time not to take much of actions. We also have debilitated sun. It's about creatively thinking and understanding the patterns. Because Mercury in the sign of Scorpio also represents, and when it gets connected with Venus, it represents blueprints. So it's about understanding one's own patterns of life. Like suppose if you take a certain decision and you take it repetitively, that becomes a pattern for you. So it's a time to understand those situations, because Jupiter opposite to it in an earth sign, it wants you to take refined, balanced and decisions with a lot of patience. Right? So that is what the theme is. This particular transit of Mercury is also being aspected with Mars. So definitely for this period till January 4th, you are going to experience events which are going to be very intense in nature, and that is going to be related to either sudden events in your life or related to relationships. And then this conjunction or transit is also being aspected by Saturn's 10th aspect and Jupiter's 7th aspect. Definitely a major uh, learning, lifelong lesson, lifelong learning is going to come around. So for the sign of Cancer, for this period, you will actually go into intense, deep thinking. And because of this intense, deep thinking and feeling alone, feeling isolated, lack of energy to take actions, you might feel very, you might actually take decisions or do something which is not going to be in your favor. Your emotional element is so high for this period that the decisions that you are going to take during this time period can actually backfire, can actually make you learn something which is going to be intense. Your intelligence is going to be there, your intuition is going to be there, but try to keep it to yourself. Try not to get that intensity out of you. Try to suppress your dominance for this period, because otherwise this could lead to something way more than that could be controlled. But yes, you are going to feel very creative at this point of time. You'll be able to do something which is associated with technical creativity. So this is the best time for you to follow your passion related to your skills, related to your creation. You are going to research. For Cancers, this is the time which is not very good emotionally. Emotionally, there's a struggle, but you are going to get out of this emotions by the way of researching. So I see you learning something in your life, going for some higher education or a simple diploma, or just googling, just watching videos online, researching online, so as to feed yourself with knowledge. And this knowledge could be of occult. Definitely I see most of the chances this knowledge is going to be of occult. You're going to find out secrets of occult. You're going to find out piece of informations, right? Now, just a second. Now, the sign of Leo. Sorry. Okay, so for Leo individuals, Mercury is transiting in the 4th house. This means that there is going to be an intense experience which is going to make you overthink in the night, and also to have some sort of split like situation with your emotions. You might want to, make a split or make a significant change either within your home or within your emotional state. This is the time where you're going to feel isolated, feel more to oneself. There can be a significant event with the family as well. Just a minute. Yes. So where were we? Yeah. So this is going to give you a significant transformative event within your family. Specifically, something related to your family is going to affect you in a very intense manner. And this also shows that you might move away from your family for this point of time, because it shows that there is going to be some movement or sudden change related to your home place. Sorry. So this also shows that you will feel very emotionally detached from the family or from money for that matter, because money is going to be something which you have been obsessing over. You might have needed money for something related to your home, related to your family. Because of that burden, now uh, you are feeling away from them. You're feeling intense and a bit on the negative side. So these emotions right now are transforming into overthinking, right? So next for the sign of Virgos. So this is happening in the third house. That means that you will experience abrupt changes within your life. And for that, you are actually going to feel very much into overthinking, into self thinking, and that too in a very intense manner and an intensely emotional manner. Your emotions are going to be quite high over you, because we also have Moon and Ketu conjunction in the first house. Then there is Mercury and Venus in the third house. This time is also good for you to creatively doing something, technically and creatively doing. Like, for example, if you want to introduce yourself into communications, you'll be researching towards that. And you will be actually spending long hours doing that. Right now, the condition of your emotions is not the best, because at the same time, when this Mercury is transiting in the sign of Scorpio, there is going to happen the lunar eclipse. So this means that this is going to be heavy emotionally, and this is also going to take a toll on your health. But this, in a way, is going to help you with your creative abilities and also with your marketing abilities. You might also get deception from your close relative, close friend, a person that you considered as a close person. It could even be a younger female, right? So this is actually a time for Virgo individuals where they are going to be surrounded by conflicts. And this particular transit is going to maybe add on to it. But definitely this shows that you should indulge yourself into some creative stuff, into refining your skills so as to feel better. Just prepare yourself with your education, with your knowledge accumulating power to deal with all of what is happening in the surroundings. That is going to act as a meditation for you, right? Now, next for Libra risings. For Libra risings, this is happening in the second house. Now, you would want to indulge into something, it can actually make you very obsessive during this time, obsessive and addictive. Now, addiction does not necessarily means it is the addiction of alcohol, it is the addiction of drugs or anything of that sort. Addiction means that there is something that you are doing and you're doing it constantly. But most of all, since second house, it has Mercury and Venus, and then you have Moon and Ketu in the 12th house with debilitated Sun in the first. That means that you are not going to feel emotionally well, because of which you would try to isolate yourself and you can drink too much during this while. And if you are not more of a drinker, this means that you are going to dive deeper into astrology, into occult. And now you are going to introduce yourself so as to communicate that information outwardly. Either you would choose the social media, or you would interact with people so as to talk about it. This also shows there can be a very transformative event related to your finances. Your finances could go into your career. You would want to invest your money into your career. But rather, I would say that for this time, you should be careful with the investments. If within your career, you should choose it wisely, or either I would say avoid that happening for this year. Because Mercury, Venus in the second house, that also, and that too in Pisces, you will actually want to show people, boast with people about the money you have. You might have this much money, but you're going to boast about this much. that trait of yours can lead you into some conflict. And definitely, I see a major loss with money. So be very careful, especially with shares, with speculation, or any investment. Any investment, I would rather suggest you to not take up any investment this year. Try to have it another year, next year, 2025, but not this year. Right? And this also means that relationships, see, having Venus in Scorpio in the second house, it's not the best placement for relationships or marriage. Right? So that's why this means that marriage is going to experience ups and downs or intense problems. Right? So now the sign of Scorpio. So for Scorpios, this is happening in the first house. Now, this means that this Mercury in the sign of Scorpio is coming in your ascendant. You would feel quite conflicted within yourself. You would feel quite jealous. You would want to, uh, you know, have, possess basically or control your partner. Although your partner is going to act very adamant, stubborn. And because of that, you're going to feel very uncomfortable, and there's going to be something every day that is happening with your emotions. Right? So because of that, because of the intensity of your relationships right now, intensity of yourself right now, you will feel a little isolated from the public, from the outer people, from others. You are going to accumulate so much emotion, so much intense emotions for now, that you are going to start overthinking. You're going to start isolating yourself. So you're going to start being in your own mind. Every day, it's like another thought coming into your mind, and that you whole day you are just thinking about that. And because of that, you'll feel very cold emotionally. So this is actually the time for you to go inside, go inward, and connect with your spiritual self. Because this energy needs to be balanced here. There can be some disagreement communication wise with your partner, or even with the mentors, with your mentors or with your gurus. So you need to be careful with that as well. Now the sign of Sagittarius. So for Sagittarius, this is happening in the 12th house. This can give you intense emotional and spiritual experience. Your subconscious mind is really high right now. You're feeling things, you're realizing things which might are going to happen, but you won't understand where it is coming from. Right? This also means that you are feeling very dissatisfied about love, about your communications, about your career, about your hard work. So for this time, you would want to emotionally be isolated from everything. This intense situation within your subconscious mind will affect your sleep as well. You would want to enjoy within your private space. Again, this also talks about isolation. You would want to isolate, but you will still be involved with the outer space as well, with public, with people as well. But there is going to be a very practical relationship with others. Then your spouse or partner may also experience intense emotions. Because of that, they might themselves feel very isolated. Right? But this also shows, since the first lord and the seventh lord are in mutual aspect here with Venus along with that, there can be some disagreements that can lead to sudden burst. So be careful of your reactions right now. Stop overthinking. I know this is very easy to say, but very hard to do. But you need to give a direction to this overthinking. You need to keep yourself indulged and feel less of the pressure. Otherwise, this would actually come out in your actions, in your karma. And that could be quite transformative and quite critical because Moon and Ketu is in the 10th house. Right? And there's a debilitated Sun in the 11th. You may get the benefits from overseas, but there would be some consequences associated with it. You'll have to negotiate. This is not your time to show your ego or be in that arrogance mode. This is your time to get your gains out of the situations in a very diplomatic and negotiable manner. Okay. The next one is the sign of Capricorn. So for Capricorn individuals, this is happening in the 11th house. There could be an intense encounter with a female. And that could be a person within your social circle. This Venus and Mercury conjunction in the 11th, this works for gains of one's desires, but gains doesn't come easy. The process is never easy. The process is quite transformative. And that gain of yours will actually ask something in return. So there's like a good event and a bad event that is going to come along. You are going to feel very philosophically inclined for this matter, for this time. You would want to interact with people in secrecy. And also this shows that you would put out your knowledge, your passion in front of large population. And you may even get recognized for that. But be careful with how you are interpreting what you want to say. Right? So next is the sign of Aquarius. For Aquarius individuals, this is happening in the 10th house, some significant, intense event related to your career. You might choose to, impulsively just change the line or change your career, leave the job, want to follow something else. But that would require intense research, and you're going to do that. There could be a event with a person or some person at your workspace can act very toxic for you, especially female and a younger one. And because of that, you will feel very frustrated emotionally. You'll be not able to put things out, put your emotions out. And that is going to affect your peace of mind. Right? Because of this thing, you'll have a lot of pressure on your mind. This also talks about, something creative, technically creative that you would want to have within your career. You would introduce something like that. But definitely this talks about a significant change with your job. If you are into job, you might choose to go, leave the job for some reason because of the toxic environment. The main alignments are for that. But rest, of course, it depends on what alignments you have in your D1 chart and which dasha you are going around with. Right? Next one is Pisces. So for Pisces individual, this is happening in the 9th house. Venus and Mercury conjunction. This actually talks about spirituality. There could be a relationship which is going to make you feel very drained. And because of that, you're going to lead towards spirituality. You might get deceived by a guru or a person who be very careful with whom suggestion you are taking at this point, because that might not turn out to be good. Your intelligence somehow is corrupted because of the transits right now. So try not taking any firm or any major decisions right now. And if you are feeling bad about things, if you're not feeling well, just go out for a travel. But this time is very good for writing something associated with research. This time is good for being recognized for your writing skills, for your philosophy, right? So also this means that your mind right now is very much connected with your partnerships, with your relationships, but somehow there's so much dissatisfaction associated with that. That's why you are right now just wanting to go towards self love, towards oneself, that now I want to do what I want to do. I can't think about other people anymore. This Mercury would want you to split your belief system or change your belief system in a very drastic and transformative way. Now, next is the sign of Aries. For Aries individuals, this is happening in the eighth house. This is a very, very, very intense situation. And I think for rest of the transits also, I have gotten the most intense situations for Aries individuals. Now, Venus and Mercury in the eighth house and with Rahu in the 12th, and also its ninth aspect on this conjunction. Definitely, there could be an affair or there could be a love encounter that you're going to have, which might be also unethical. This could be with a person who is already married or who is already into a relationship. So, some sort of unethicalness is going to be there. This communication, this relationship is going to be in secrecy. And another thing, what it also tells us that this is actually a good time for you to increase your wealth by investing it. But still, I would say that just wait for a month or two. Just grab the ideas, analyze the situation, and then go for investments. Because it is showing me that you are going to accumulate wealth, you are going to put in investments. But right now, it's more of that not taking action till the time Mars is in the sign of Cancer. It's more about just gathering the information. It also is going to make you dive deeper into occult and take out the information. There can be a very sudden event within your home or with your mother. So ask your mother to take good health of hers, because I do see that her health can take a toll because of all these transits. Right? And similarly, because of what will happen within your home environment or with the mother, you are also going to be very much inclined towards balancing your own health, balancing your nutrition, your routine, your digestive system. Even you have to take care of your digestive system right now, or you might go for a, you know, operation, surgery. That could be minor. Of course, the ultimate result is in your Dean 1 chart, in your Vimshottari Dasha. But these transits are making that scenario. They're making the way for your D1 chart. If your D1 chart has the promise, it will follow that way. If it doesn't, it won't even go that way. Right? Next is the sign of Taurus. So for Taurus individuals, this is happening in the seventh house. Intense transformation with your encounter with other people and with your spouse or your partner. Right now, you are going to feel that you have to change drastically because of how you are behaving with them and how they are behaving with you. So the kind of relationship you people are having right now, that is going to transform you about how you connect with other people. And this also shows that you and your spouse would work hard towards something, maybe something related to career. But there's some sort of hard work. There's also hard work so as to connect within the marriage. There's a lot of overthinking. And this particular situation, how it is going to come to an intense situation, that first there will be fights, there will be lack of understanding, and then there will be a special ignite, special passion that would come around. But first, be very careful of misunderstandings between you and your spouse. And this is the same for the sign of Scorpio as well. There can be some misunderstandings that can take a significant shift. within your relationships, right? And for that matter, you will not be able to use your intelligence. You will somehow feel that my mind is not working. How to deal with it? So be very careful with your words. Be very careful with what you're projecting. Now, next is the sign of Gemini. So for Gemini individuals, this is happening in the sixth house. This can bring in conflict with females, with colleagues. For this time, be very careful with colleagues because there are so many deceptive ladies around you, and unnecessarily you'll be pinpointed for something or the other because of them, and your image is going to get affected because of that. And you will just feel so much of frustration to how to communicate, to what to say, because you will not be able to justify yourself because what deception they are going to do. So be careful with that, even for male, even for female, right? This also shows that you might want to do something or get something done as a part of beauty change on your face or within your body. Some sort of surgery you would want to have to look better, to look younger. This also means that this is a period where you shouldn't take any debt, especially for someone else. But this situation can make you take debt for someone's health so as to provide someone in your family specifically, or it could be spouse as well. But this situation, this particular whole chart is showing me that situation for you in this Mercury transit is not going to be the best. There's a lot of conflicts that can arise one after another. So the less you interact with unnecessary people, the more is the better. Right? So guys, that was my analysis about Mercury transit in the sign of Scorpio. I hope this turns out to be helpful. If you guys are new to my channel, don't forget to subscribe, like, comment, and share. And if you guys would like to have your personal readings, you can check out the link below, www.anmollastrology.com. And under the reading section, you can book a personal reading for yourself. And under unique reading section, you can book a unique reading for yourself. Okay. See you in the next video. Bye-bye. Take care.